They didn't just laugh. They broadcast it. Across 1,000 star systems, inside the Grand Chamber of the Galactic Council, the sound of amusement rolled like distant thunder. Multi-limbed diplomats flickered in bioluminescent colors of mockery. Silicon-based envoys transmitted harmonic pulses equivalent to ridicule. Even the ancient war species from the outer rings released low-frequency vibrations that translated into one universal meaning. Humans? Joining the war? For 300 years the Varithi Dominion had expanded without meaningful resistance. Entire civilizations had fallen. Planetary shields shattered. Fleets erased in coordinated gravitational strikes. The Dominion didn't negotiate. It optimized. It conquered. It harvested. And now Earth, barely a century into faster-than-light travel, had formally declared entry into the conflict. The human delegate stood alone in the center of the chamber. No exoskeleton. No enhanced neural crown. No adaptive war suit. Just fabric, stitched in blue and silver, and eyes that did not look amused. "Our vote is final," he said calmly. "Humanity enters the war." Laughter intensified. Military analytics displayed instantly across Council hologrids. Human fleet capacity, limited. Combat experience, minor border disputes. Interstellar infrastructure, developing. Psychological profile, emotional, divided, prone to internal conflict. Probability of extinction upon Varithi retaliation, 87.4%. The Varithi received the declaration within minutes. Their response was immediate. 7 days. 7 days to erase Earth and convert Sol into a resource system. Council observers archived the exchange as a tragic miscalculation. What they didn't archive, what they didn't detect, was the absence of fear in human communications. No mass panic broadcasts. No evacuation pleas to the Council. No desperate alliance requests. Instead, Earth transmitted a single classified directive across its colonies. Initiate Phase Black. On day 1, telescopes across the galaxy confirmed the approaching Varithi Armada. Siege carriers the size of continents. Planet crackers capable of destabilizing cores. Gravity well projectors that bent escape routes into prisons. Council members began preparing statements of regret. Human networks went quiet. On day 2, Varithi forces crossed the outer edge of the Sol system. They expected resistance near Earth. Instead, they found emptiness. Human fleets retreated deeper, drawing the Dominion inward like prey guiding a predator through narrow terrain. Toward the asteroid belt. Council analysts shook their heads. Primitive tactic. Delay strategy. Futile. What they didn't understand was simple. Humans had never intended to win quickly. They intended to control the battlefield. And by the time the first Varithi dreadnought entered the asteroid field, the trap had already been waiting for decades. The first explosion wasn't spectacular. It was precise. A Varithi forward cruiser drifted slightly off formation as it entered the asteroid belt. For 0.7 seconds, its shields flickered under electromagnetic interference. That was enough. A tungsten rod accelerated to relativistic velocity from inside a hollowed asteroid. Impact. No debris field. No cinematic fireball. The cruiser simply split apart at the molecular level. 14 more followed within minutes. Confusion rippled through Dominion Command. Their sensors recalibrated. Their formations tightened. Then the asteroids moved. Not randomly. Intentionally. Entire rock masses shifted position through hidden propulsion cores embedded decades earlier. Corridors closed. Kill zones formed. Mines ignited in chain reactions that looked like natural collisions, except they weren't. The asteroid belt wasn't a terrain obstacle. It was a fortress. Human engineers had converted millions of drifting bodies into autonomous weapons platforms. Railguns hidden behind mineral signatures. Fusion mines disguised as metallic veins. Sensor ghosts projected false fleet positions. Every piece of rock was part of a coordinated defense grid. The Varithi adapted, they always adapted, but adaptation requires time. Humans had prepared for 30 years. By the end of Day 3, 27% of the invasion fleet was disabled or destroyed. Council observers stopped laughing. On Day 4, the Dominion escalated. Planet crackers shifted trajectory toward Mars. If Earth would not break quickly, its colonies would. Mars transmitted no distress call. Instead, its surface storms intensified. Then the sand parted. Shield arrays rose from beneath the regolith. Orbital defense platforms detached from disguised mining stations. Swarms of autonomous combat drones launched from subsurface hangars like metallic insects escaping fire. The Varithi fired. Beams capable of piercing continental plates struck Martian shields, and refracted. Not reflected. Refracted. Redirected into flanking cruisers. Council analysts froze. Human defense grids were bending incoming energy, redistributing it across lattice arrays hidden beneath planetary crusts. They weren't blocking attacks. They were recycling them. Casualties mounted on both sides now. Human destroyers were torn apart in open space. Civilian transports converted into combat logistics were lost. But something disturbed Dominion commanders more than losses. Human fleets never charged recklessly. They repositioned. They calculated. They sacrificed tactically. By the end of Day 4, the Varithi had pushed through the asteroid belt. But they had paid dearly. And they were now exactly where humanity wanted them. Inside the inner system. Close enough to see Earth. Close enough to believe victory was still possible. They didn't know that the true weapon hadn't even activated yet. Day 5 began with silence. Too much silence. Human transmissions dropped to near zero. Fleets repositioned behind Earth's orbital shadow. Varithi commanders interpreted it as desperation. They advanced. Then Earth transmitted a single encrypted signal. Destination: the dark side of the moon. For decades, astronomers across the galaxy had scanned Luna. They catalogued its craters, measured its mineral deposits, declared it strategically insignificant. They were wrong. Space bent. Not violently. Smoothly. As if gravity itself folded inward like fabric being pinched. From behind the moon emerged structures no council archive recognized. Black lattice constructs kilometers wide. White-hot cores pulsing at their centers. Rings rotating around compressed singularity chambers. They were not ships. They were gravity engines. The first Varithi beam struck one. Instead of impact, absorption. Energy curved along the lattice framework, amplified, then released in a focused lance that sliced through 3 Dominion cruisers aligned behind the attacker. Panic erupted in Varithi command channels. The humans had weaponized gravitational lensing. Every incoming attack strengthened their return fire. Singularity traps activated across escape vectors, collapsing microportions of spacetime just long enough to disable faster-than-light drives. The Dominion attempted full bombardment. It failed. Human constructs didn't rely solely on shields. They manipulated physics. Council scientists ran simulations in real time. Conclusion: this technology required decades of hidden experimentation using salvaged alien components. Which meant one terrifying reality. Humans had been studying everyone. Quietly. Patiently. While appearing politically divided and technologically average, they had unified around one silent objective. Never be defenseless again. By midday 6, half the Varithi fleet was gone. The rest attempted retreat. Jump coordinates destabilized by gravity wells. Exit corridors collapsed into distortion fields. The unstoppable Dominion had become contained prey. Human fleets closed formation around the surviving armada. Weapons charged. But did not fire. They waited. Because humans didn't just want victory. They wanted surrender. On Day 7, the Varithi flagship transmitted a priority signal. Not to its fleet. To the Galactic Council. The chamber reconvened in emergency session. No one laughed this time. The Dominion commander appeared. Damaged armor plating visible behind him, command deck flickering. "We request mediation," he said. Immediate ceasefire. Terms negotiable. Shock rippled across the galaxy. 300 years of conquest. Ended in 6 days. The council turned toward Earth. The human delegate reappeared in the central chamber. He looked exhausted. Uniform scorched at the collar. But steady. You declared 7 days, he said calmly. You were correct. Behind him, live projections showed human gravity constructs locking targeting solutions on the remaining Dominion fleet. We do not seek extermination, he continued. We seek conclusion. Silence pressed against every system listening. Withdraw from occupied territories. Release all subjugated worlds. Surrender strategic command codes. Accept disarmament oversight. The Dominion hesitated. Human weapons powered higher. Space itself began distorting around trapped Varithi vessels. The message was clear. Humanity could finish it. They simply chose not to. The surrender was transmitted before the 7th day ended. Across the galaxy, archived footage of the Council's laughter resurfaced. But now it was studied in military academies as a warning. Earth did not celebrate with parades. Instead, reconstruction fleets launched toward devastated systems. Human engineers offered infrastructure support. Medical convoys crossed former battle lines. They had not joined to dominate. They had joined to end the cycle. Weeks later, a final classified assessment circulated through Council intelligence. Humanity possesses undisclosed additional capabilities. Recommendation: never provoke. From that day forward, whenever Earth requested a vote, no one dismissed them. Because hidden behind that blue world was proof of something more dangerous than raw power. Preparation. And the galaxy had learned the hard way. Never laugh at a species that prepares in silence.